Accounting for Bills of Exchange. Class 11 Accountancy. Welcome to my YouTube channel Guru of Accountancy. Today in this video we will learn accounting for bills of exchange. तो सबसे पहले हम समझ लेते हैं what is this bill of exchange. In modern times, a very large number of business transactions take place on credit, like credit purchase, credit sales, etc. In such case, the seller would like to get a written undertaking from the buyer to get the payment after a fixed period. As such, the seller prepares a document in which he puts in writing all the terms and conditions relating to the sale of goods, such as amount required to be paid, date of payment, place of payment, and many more things. The buyer puts his signature on the document and it is known as bill of exchange. तो जब कभी आपने किसी को क्रेडिट पर गुड्स सेल किया है तो उससे अमाउंट कलेक्ट करने के लिए एक रिटर्न में डॉक्यूमेंट आप बनाओगे जिसमें आपने कितने का गुड्स सेल किया है, उसका पेमेंट उससे आपको कब लेना है, एवरीथिंग यू विल राइट इन राइटिंग and you will put your signature and you will take undertaking from that person also. So that document is known as bill of exchange. In India, bill of exchange is known as hundi, and in western countries it is known as bill of exchange and promissory note. So let us begin. A bill of exchange and promissory note both are legal instruments which facilitate the credit sale of goods by assuring the seller that the amount will be recovered after a certain period. Both these are legal instruments under the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. First of all, what is bill of exchange? A bill of exchange is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional order signed by the maker directing a certain person to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. So this is a definition of bill of exchange given in section 5 of the Negotiable Instrument Act 1881. Now if you see this definition, so many things you will find from this. First of all, bills of exchange is one written instrument and it contains an unconditional order. It is signed by the maker and it gives direction to other person to pay some amount of money for the goods purchased by that other person. Let us see the characteristics of bills of exchange. First, a bill of exchange must be in writing. It should not be oral. It must contain an order to make the payment. It should not be a request. The order of payment must be unconditional. That means there should not be any condition in bill of exchange. The amount of bill of exchange must be certain. Say for example, rupees 5,000. The date of payment should be certain. Say for example, 15th August 2021. It must be signed by the drawer of the bill and it must be accepted by the drawee by signing on it. A person who is writing bill of exchange is known as drawer and the other person, that means debtor who has purchased goods from us, he is known as drawee. He is an acceptor of our bill. So it must be accepted by the drawee by signing on it. So bill of exchange is written by the creditor and it is accepted by the debtor. The amount specified in the bill of exchange is payable either on demand or on the expiry of a fixed period. So when the amount will be paid, that will be clearly recorded in the bill of exchange. The amount specified in the bill is payable either to a certain person or to his order or to the bearer of the bill. That means the amount of bill of exchange can be paid to a certain person whose name is mentioned in the bill, or as per the order of the creditor it may be paid to another person also, or it may be also paid to the holder, that means the bearer of the bill. And bill of exchange must be stamped as per the legal requirement. So these are the basic characteristics of bills of exchange. Now let us understand who are the parties to a bill of exchange. In bill of exchange you will find three parties. One is drawer, second is drawee, drawee is the acceptor, and the third one is payee. So let us understand who is drawer. So drawer is the person who makes or writes the bills of exchange. Drawer is a person who has granted credit to the person on whom the bill of exchange is drawn. So normally drawer is the creditor. The drawer is entitled to receive money from the drawee, that means acceptor. So the seller or creditor should be the drawer. Second party is drawee. Drawee is the purchaser of goods who has to make payment to us. So drawee is the person on whom the bill of exchange is drawn for acceptance. Drawee is the person to whom credit has been granted by the drawer. The drawee is liable to pay money to creditor, that means to drawer. So normally drawee is a person who has purchased goods on credit. So he is a purchaser of goods. He is a debtor. And the third party is payee. The person to whom the payment is to be made is called payee. Payee is the person who receives the payment from the drawee. Usually, the drawer and the payee are the same person. That means amount of bill is received by the drawer. That means the creditor. But in the following cases, drawer and payee are two different persons. When the bill is discounted by the drawer from his bank, payee is the bank. That means drawer has given bill in the bank and he has discounted the bill. So in that case, on maturity date, drawee will make payment to bank. So in that case, bank will be the payee. And when the bill is endorsed by the drawer to his creditor, payee is the endorsee. That means if the drawer has given bill to any other person, so that person will become the payee. Say for example, I have given bill to Mr. X. So on maturity date, Mr. X will recover money. So Mr. X is the payee, who is also known as endorsee. So normally payee is the person who collects the money. In most of the cases, drawer is the payee, but when the bill is discounted, bank will become payee, and when the bill is endorsed, in that case, the person to whom bill is endorsed, that is endorsee, will become the payee. Now what are the advantages of bills of exchange? So the first advantage of bill of exchange is it helps in purchase and sale of goods on credit basis. Because of bill of exchange, supplier is ready to sell goods on credit because he is getting one written undertaking that payment would be recovered on maturity date after some period. So it helps in large number of credit and credit purchase and credit sale transactions. Second, it is a legally and valid document in the eyes of law. It assures a easier recovery to the drawer if drawee fails to make the payment. That means if bill of exchange is there and if the drawee does not make payment, you can take legal action against him. So it is a legal document. A bill can be discounted from the bank before its date of maturity. By discounting with the bank, drawer can get the money before the due date of bill. So in emergency, if you are in need of money and if you have bill of exchange, you can discount it with bank, and in emergency you can collect money from the bank. This type of bill will be collected by bank on maturity from the drawee. It can be easily transferred from one person to another person by endorsement. So suppose I have one bill of exchange and I have one creditor also. So in order to make payment to my creditor, I can utilize bills which I have. So bills can be endorsed. And the fifth, it helps in recovery of debt without sending reminder to the debtor, because the date of payment of bill is already recorded in the bill of exchange. So these are the advantages of bills of exchange. Similar to bills of exchange, let us understand what is promissory note. So promissory note is issued by debtor, that means purchaser of goods, whereas bills of exchange is written by creditor, seller of goods. So this is the basic difference between these two documents. What is promissory note? A promissory note is an instrument in writing containing an unconditional undertaking signed by the maker to pay a certain sum of money only to or to the order of a certain person or to the bearer of the instrument. So sometimes the purchaser of the goods, that means debtor himself, writes a note, signs it, and gives it to the seller of the good. It is called promissory note. So promissory note is written by purchaser of goods. What are the features of promissory note? So the first feature of promissory note is there must be an unconditional promise to pay a certain sum of money on a certain date. So there should not be any condition in the promissory note. It should be unconditional. And promissory note can be written only to pay money on a certain date. It must be signed by the maker. That means it must be signed by the debtor. The name of the payee must be mentioned on it. That means the person to whom amount will be given, his name must be written in the promissory note, and it must be stamped according to its value. So, promissory note must be in writing. It should not be oral. Now, what are the parties to the promissory note? So, similar to bills of exchange, in promissory note, you will find two parties. One is the maker and second is the payee. Who is the maker? Purchaser is the maker. Debtor is the maker because he promises himself. The maker is the person who makes the promise to pay the amount on a certain date. Maker of a bill of must sign the promissory note before giving it to its payee. So, debtor is the maker. Payee. The payee is the person who is entitled to get the payment from the maker of promissory note. So, normally he is a creditor. So, payee is the person who has granted the credit or who has sold goods on credit. So, in simple language, we can say payee is the seller of goods and maker is the buyer of goods on credit. Now, important terms in the bills of exchange. The first important term is term of bill. Term means time period. The period intervening between the date on which a bill is drawn, that means bill is written, and the date on which it becomes due for payment is called term of bill. So it may be of 1 month, 2 months or 3 months. Depending upon the agreement between the buyer and seller, term of bill is decided. So it is a period of bill. Second is due date. Due date is the date on which the payment of the bill is due. That means the day on which payment of bill will be made, that is due date. How the due date is decided? So due date is decided based on the period, say for example 3 months, and suppose it is decided 3 days extra is given. So 3 months plus 3 days extra, which is known as the period of grace. Maturity date. But before maturity date, we should understand what is days of grace. So drawee is allowed 3 days extra after the due date of bill for making payment. Such 3 days which are extra given are known as days of grace, and it is a custom to add the days of grace. So when you add 3 days of grace in the due date, you will get maturity date of the bill of exchange or promissory note. Date of maturity. The date which comes after adding the 3 days of grace to the due date of a bill is called maturity date. We will see some exercise on calculation of the maturity date in our later section. Fifth is bills at sight or bills on demand. So there are different types of bill. This is one of the type of bill, bill at sight or bill on demand. So when no time for the payment of bill is mentioned and the bill is payable whenever it is presented to the drawee for the payment, such bill are known as bill at sight or bill on demand. So normally date is not written in this type of bill when its payment would be made. So they are bill at sight. 3 days of grace are not allowed when the bill is payable on demand. Second is bill after date. That means when a particular date is decided and in that we will add the 3 days of grace, then it will become bills after date. So where a bill is payable at a fixed period after date, the period begins to run from the date of drawing the bill. That is known as bill after date. So bill after date is the bill in which due date and the date of maturity is mentioned from the date on which the bill is drawn. 3 days of grace are allowed for ascertaining the date of maturity in case of bill after date. Discounting of bill. As I told you earlier, drawer can discount bill with his banker. If before maturity date he is in need of money, he can discount the bill in bank. So when the bill is encashed from the bank before its due date or maturity date, it is known as discounting of bill. Bank deducts its charges from the amount of bill and disperse the balance amount. So say for example, I have bill of 50,000 rupees and I am in need of money and the bill period is of 3 months. So I have not to wait for 3 months. Before 3 months, I can go to my bank and I can discount bill as the rate applicable in the bank for commission. So immediately I will get money. Bank will cut its discount and remaining amount bank will give me. Endorsement of bill. If you have a bill of exchange given by or signed by your debtor, then that bill can be utilized for making payment to your creditor. So when you are making payment to your creditor with the help of bill of exchange, then it is known as endorsement of bill. The endorsement of bill means the process of transferring the title, that means ownership of bill, from the drawer or holder to their creditor. Say for example, I am the holder of bill, I have one bill of exchange, and that bill I am utilizing for making payment to my creditor, then it is known as endorsement of bill. The person transferring title is called endorser, and the person to whom the bill is transferred is known as endorsee. The endorsee can further endorse the bill in favor of his creditor. Endorsement is executed by putting the signature at the back of the bill. So that is endorsement of bill, in which drawer utilizes bill for making payment to his creditors. Next is bill sent for collection. So many businessmen have no time for going in a bank or collecting from the drawing. So what they do, they give their bills, different bills collected from their debtors to their bank, and on behalf of drawer, bank collect money. So this is known as bills sent for collection through bank. So it is a process when the bill is sent to the bank with instruction to keep the bill till the maturity date and collect its amount from the acceptor on the date of maturity. So in this case, on behalf of drawer, amount of bill is collected by the bank. Next is dishonor of bill. On maturity date, if the acceptor does not make payment of bill because of any reason, then it is known as dishonor of bill. So when the drawee, that means acceptor of the bill, fails to make the payment of the bill on the maturity date, it is called dishonor of bill. Noting of bill. Now when the bill is dishonored, then you have to do notary of this bill of dishonor. Notary office will record dishonor of bill. So to obtain the proof of dishonor of bill, it is resent to the drawee through a legal authorized person called notary public. Notary public charges a small fee for providing this service, which is known as noting charges. So noting charges are paid by the drawer, that means creditor, but later on it is collected from the drawee. Accommodation bill. So accommodation bill are those bills in which there is no credit sale, no credit purchase of goods, but two friends, to satisfy their short-term requirement of fund, write bill upon each other, and that bill they discount in a bank. So that type of bill is accommodation bill. So when bill of exchange or promissory note are not drawn to settle a trade, that means there is no credit sale, no credit purchase between the drawer and drawee, but are written for the purpose of mutual help to satisfy their short-term financial requirement and to raise fund temporarily, then it is known as accommodation bill. So in accommodation bill, one person will write a bill on another person will accept that bill, both are friends, both are the business person, then they will discount this bill in a bank, and whatever amount they receive, they distribute between them. On maturity date, they mutually pay money to the bank, and in this way they satisfy their short-term requirement of fund. So that is the accommodation bill. Insolvency of acceptor. So when a person is not able to make payment of bill because his debts are more than his assets, then it is the insolvency of acceptor. When the drawee, that means debtor, that means acceptor of a bill, is unable to pay his liabilities on due date, the drawee becomes insolvent. In such case, entries for the dishonor of the bill are passed in the books of drawer, that means holder, and drawee of the bill. Any proportionate amount received from the drawee is recorded in the books of the holder, and the amount unrecoverable is debited to the bad debt account.